you ever walked through a city at night and felt completely alone? Even surrounded by lights, by people, by life, there's this strange aching emptiness. Well, that's the feeling Edward Hopper captures in Nighthawks. It's not just a painting of a diner, it's a mirror of our own loneliness, our own isolation, our own quiet despair. Today on Gallery of Secrets, we're going to step into that diner, into that glowing, sterile space, and explore what Nighthawks tells us about ourselves. This isn't just an art analysis. This is a journey into the human soul. Let's start with the setting. Nighthawks was painted in 1942 during World War II. The world was in chaos, and yet, in this painting, everything feels eerily still. The diner is the centerpiece, a glowing box of light in the middle of a dark, empty street. But it's not warm, it's cold, almost clinical. The light doesn't comfort, it exposes. Hopper said he was inspired by a diner in Greenwich Village, but this isn't a real place, it's a stage where the drama of human isolation plays out. I look at the streets outside. They're empty, no cars, no people, no life. The buildings are dark, their windows are like blank eyes staring into the void. It's as if the diner is the last outpost of humanity in a deserted world. Now let's look at the figures. There are 4 of them, a couple sitting together, a man at the counter, and the waiter. At first glance, they seem connected. They're in the same space, sharing the same light. But look closer. The couple isn't talking, and they're sitting side by side. But they might as well be miles apart. The man at the counter is lost in thought, his back to us. He's physically present, but mentally, he's somewhere else entirely. And the waiter? He's serving them, yes, but he's not really with them. He's just part of the scene, another figure in this carefully constructed tableau. Hopper once said, "Maybe I'm not very human. All I ever wanted to do was to paint sunlight on the side of a house." But I think he was deeply human, because in Nighthawks he captures something so profoundly human, the ache of being alone, even when you're not. Let's talk about the light. The diner is bathed in this harsh fluorescent glow. It's not natural light, it's artificial, almost invasive. And outside there's only darkness. No stars, no moon, just an endless void. The light doesn't spill out onto the street, it's contained, it's trapped within the diner's glass walls. This contrast between light and shadow is a metaphor for isolation. The figures are illuminated, exposed, but they're also trapped. There's no door to the diner, there's no way in or out. They're stuck in this liminal space between connection and disconnection, between light and dark, between hope and despair. Now here's the thing about Nighthawks, it's not just a painting of its time, it's a painting of our time. In a world that's more connected than ever, we're also more isolated than ever. We sit in crowded cafes, scrolling through our phones. We share spaces with strangers, but we don't really see them, do we? Hopper understood this. He understood the spaces between people, the unspoken words, the misconnections, the quiet desperation. In Automata, a woman sits alone in a cafe, staring into her coffee. In office at night, 2 people share a space, but they don't really connect. These are all variations on the same theme, the loneliness of modern life. Nighthawks has become one of the most iconic images in art history. It's been referenced in movies like Blade Runner and Pennies from Heaven. It's been parodied, imitated, and reimagined countless times. But why does it resonate so deeply with us? Perhaps it's because we've all been there. We've all sat in a diner at 2 a.m., staring into a cup of coffee, wondering where everybody went. Hopper didn't just paint a diner, he painted the human condition, the ache of being alone, the longing for connection, the quiet despair of modern life. So here's my question for you. What do you see when you look at Nighthawks? For me, it's a reminder that even in a crowded world, we can feel utterly alone. But it's also a reminder that we're not alone in feeling that way. Thank you for joining me on this journey into Edward Hopper's Nighthawks. If this video made you think or feel something, let me know in the comments. Till next time.